Welcome to another episode of Cattle Today. Today we're moving the cows about a quarter mile through several lanes and turns to this new spot where they'll be resting for approximately a week. I'll show you the nice setup they have waiting for them, and then we'll go meet the cows and we'll see how they do. Hopefully they'll move without any drama or mishaps, exactly as planned, a full quarter mile into this spot. There are only 4 things I need to make sure to provide these cows. The first is hay, and here's a 500-pound round bale of hay in a hay ring. There's another one over here, and that makes 1 day's feed for the 35 stocker calves that we're running right now. Behind me over here you can see white electric cords keeping the cattle off of other hay bales, and these are attached to an electric fence on the perimeter. Here you can see the connection to the main fence there. These bales are ready to eat, and when I'm ready to feed, I'll just take this hot wire down and move the hay rings over to these bales. Another thing I need to provide these cows is a secure perimeter, and that's this electric fence, which I'm now going to test to make sure it's hot so that it can hold the cows. A third thing I need to make sure the cows have, and which I have staged here in this new paddock for them, is this mineral feeder. And inside this mineral feeder, which I can drag along behind my tractor to move, are organic salt and kelp, dried seaweed essentially. And this black rubber top, the cattle understand how to lift it up with their noses. They access the salt within. Here's a handful of salt. And when they're done eating, the flap comes down and keeps the weather and the wind and rain out of there. The fourth thing we need to provide the cattle, water. These 2 tanks here hold about 200 gallons. That's almost enough for these 35 stocker cattle each day. They tend to drink more like 250 gallons a day. Anyway, this water is ready. It's good, nice well water for them, and it'll be here when they move into their new paddock. Okay, these are the cattle that we're going to move, and you can see they're in an area where there's almost no hay left. That hay ring is dead empty. They're kind of walking around. They're looking at me. I'm at quite a distance, but they know I'm about to move them. They've seen me out here working and prepping the fence for the move. Now they see me out here messing with this stupid camera, so they're already assembling themselves toward me. They think I'm going to come to this side since I'm over here, and they're getting ready for their big move. And just so you can see how eager they are to move and to connect with me, look at the distance that there really is. Now this is the gate I'm going to open to let these cattle start moving. And once I open this gate, I've lost control. Okay, we're here at another 90-degree turn, and there's some stockpiled fescue. So the cattle have kind of relaxed and stopped moving. Now they wonder if maybe they should go back where they came from. That's not a good idea from my point of view. So I want to try and give them soft pressure to get them to get the idea of taking that left-hand turn up ahead and going on into their new paddock. They're only about 30 yards from where they need to be, but of course they don't know that. If I give them too much pressure, the boldest ones might get around me and give a bunch of them a bad idea. If I don't give them any pressure, they'll just sit here and eat for about an hour. Just need a few of them to take that turn and move and give the other ones the idea. Nobody wants to be the last cow. Come on now. So here we are at the paddock. This is actually a larger and more relaxed paddock than I normally use with mob grazing. I use this for a place to put them in the winter if the wind's real bad. It's about a 4-acre area surrounded by woods. It has this old shed I don't use anymore. So here's the water I showed you earlier, and you can see there's some of the hay, the mineral feeder, the hay in rings. And I'm just going to keep panning until I start seeing cows, because they're not paying any attention to that hay. They're over here eating this stockpiled fescue. Like I said, we're the very earliest part of March. These animals are finding something to eat pretty much all through the calendar year. This is one of the few paddocks where we have trees that they can rub on, so that's a big feature. They like that. So everything's calm, everybody's happy, settled in. It'll take them a little while, but they'll get over here and investigate these hay bales. They're kind of moving that way now. They'll like to know that there's some hay in there backing them up, and they'll be glad to see the water, and they'll be all over that mineral feeder as well.
Et voilà, le bouge du succès. Un grand succès en fait. On est bien arrivé. Toutes mes vaches sont toutes contentes et bien acclimatisées. Hein? They are well arrived and happy in their new digs, as you say, their new digs, yes. Voilà. Un autre chapitre fermé, bien fermé, de les vaches d'aujourd'hui, the cows today, another episode well finished and happily concluded.